this video, I am going to talk about my travel to Antarctica, the fifth largest continent in this world.
That's good.
Thank you.
Antarctica is surrounded by the Southern Ocean and it is divided into three. That is the Northern Antarctic Peninsula, Eastern Antarctica including the South Pole and the Ross Ice Shelf. This is the world map and this is the South American continent. I traveled from India to Sao Paulo. From Sao Paulo, I traveled to the Argentine capital of Buenos Aires. From Buenos Aires, I took another flight to the southernmost town of the world, Ushuaia. From Ushuaia, you cross to the Antarctic Peninsula, which is here. All the landmass below the 60-degree south latitude is considered as Antarctica. This is the map of Antarctica, and this is where Ushuaia is located, and this is the Antarctic Peninsula. Drake Passage. Drake Passage is around 1000 kilometers and it takes around 2 days to cross from Ushuaia to the Southern Shetland Islands, which is the entry point of Antarctica. This is the map of Antarctic continent. Southern Ocean surrounds the Antarctic continent. Antarctic continent is primarily divided into three. That is Antarctic Peninsula, which is again divided into Graham Land and Palmer Land. And this is the Eastern Antarctica with the South Pole here, 90 degrees south. And this is the Ross Ice Shelf. From Ushuaia, we travel to South Shetland Islands, which is the entry point to Antarctica. From South Shetland Islands, you cross over to the Graham Land and to the Weddell Sea. Antarctica is the vast, wild wilderness of elemental forces like ice, snow, water, and rocks. A journey to Antarctica is a journey of a lifetime, only seen in TVs or in cinema. 90% of the chance that you will be visiting Antarctica on a ship, especially an icebreaker ship, which is specifically designed to travel through the icy continent. Another question usually asked is, how big is Antarctica? It is the fifth largest continent of this world, and it is four times the size of India. Another question usually asked is, do you need a visa to visit Antarctica? Actually, Antarctica belongs to no one. It is a continent bound by an Antarctic treaty. That's all. In December 1st, 1959, 12 countries around Pacific Rim came out with a treaty to use Antarctica for scientific purpose only. Now there are 54 countries around the world has signed in this treaty, and India is one of the countries in it. India was part of the Antarctic Treaty since 1983. As you all are aware, India has 3 base stations in Antarctica: Dashin Gangotri, Maitri, and Bharati. How we go to Antarctica? The main route is via ship from the southernmost town of Antarctica called Ushuaia in South America. From there, you cross the Drake Passage and reach Antarctica. That is the shortest distance from the continent to Antarctic Peninsula. It's around 1000 kilometers and it takes around 2 days to travel. But the only problem is that it is the most turbulent waterways in the world. That is, you pay the Drake tax to reach Antarctica. Such is the turbulence of the Drake Passage waterways. Either you get a Drake Lake or you a Drake Shake. If the turbulence is maximum, we call it Drake Shake, and if the turbulence is a little bit less, then you call Drake Lake. Who named Antarctica Antarctica? In 1890, a Scottish cartographer is one which makes maps. Cartographer named it as Antarctica. It is the driest, windiest continent on planet Earth. Actually, it is nothing but a massive desert covered with ice. Ice goes up to 2 kilometers in thickness. 2 kilometers. And the temperature in certain places dips to even minus 89 degrees centigrade. Is there humans live there? No. There is no primary inhabitants, human inhabitation in Antarctica. All the people live in Antarctica now are for scientific experiments and scientists. Other than that, around 30,000 people visit Antarctica every year. When is the best time to visit Antarctica? That is during austral summer, southern austral summer, when the Antarctic ice melts and the ships can navigate through the Southern Ocean waterways. There are advantages going through ship because you can stay in the ship, your travel is taken care, and your food is also taken care by the ship. Actually, it's not only from Argentina in South America you can go to Antarctica. From Chile, that's also in South America, There is a Punta Arenas airport. From there, you can fly to Antarctica Chilean base station through an aircraft. It takes around 4 to 5 hours to reach there by flight. Or else, you can travel from South Africa, Australia, and New Zealand to Antarctica. The only problem here is that it takes a long time to reach Antarctica, and the shortest possible time from the continent to Antarctica is through the Argentine town of Ushuaia, crossing the Drake Passage to the southern Shetland Islands, which is the first entry point of Antarctica. What are the animals living in Antarctica? There is no polar bears in Antarctica, just like everybody thinks that there is penguins in Arctic region also. No. Arctic region has polar bears and Antarctica has got penguins. There are a couple of different types of penguins, like emperor penguin, king penguin, Gentoo penguin, Adelaide, chinstrap, macaroni, etc. etc. Except for the emperor and king penguins, which is located deep inside the Antarctic continent, all the other penguins are seen everywhere. Depends on the temperature where you are going. The other big captivating thing in Antarctica is the whales. Lot of whales are there, like the blue whales, the minke, humpback, and the killer whales like orca, available in plenty in the Southern Ocean. Then the other animal which fascinates you in Antarctica is the seals, like the crab eater, Weddell, giant elephant seals. Lot of birds are also there in Antarctica, like albatross, skuas, and giant petrels. But the only flora available there are small lichens and very small plants like that, algae, etc. So, the first thing about traveling to Antarctica is choosing an agency which will take you to Antarctica. Antarctica is defined as all the land masses and the ice shelves south of 60° south latitude. Everything below 60° south latitude is Antarctica. When you book a ship to go to Antarctica, there are a couple of things to be looked into. If it is a small ship, like 100 to 200 people, they are the ideal ones. But the thing is, when you go through the Drake Passage, if the turbulence is there, it is more felt in small ships than in larger ships, which houses around 500 people or more. And also, there is one problem with big ships, because in some places, they may not be able to dock. Then, how you travel in Antarctica after reaching Antarctica? It is through a small rib. There's inflatable ships which can house around 9 to 15 people. It's a air-filled, 6 compartments are there in the small boat that is called Zodiac, through which you cruise the Antarctic waters and see the places. 99% of the time you stay in the ship, and for cruising you enter into Zodiac and then you travel around. As I told you before, the ships traveling to Antarctica are specially designed. But one good point about this cruise is that you are invited to visit the bridge. There is a navigation room of the bridge, the ship, from where you can see and enjoy the sceneries in front of you. And also, you are the first one to witness what is happening in front of the ship. The higher in the ship you stay, the chance of turbulence is more. If you are feared of seasickness, it is better to stay in the lower compartments of the ship so that your seasickness will be much lesser. You feel the turbulence much less. I traveled to Antarctica from India, then to Qatar, and Qatar Airways took me from Doha, the capital of Qatar, directly to Sao Paulo. There is the Brazilian town of Sao Paulo. From there to the Argentine capital of Buenos Aires. From Buenos Aires, I took another flight of the local carrier Aerolíneas Argentinas to the southernmost town of Ushuaia in Argentina. Ushuaia is considered as the southernmost town in the world. It is the part of the Terra del Fuego archipelago in South America. From Ushuaia, 90% of the tours to Antarctica starts. In other words, also Ushuaia is a town worth seeing because it has got the southernmost train of the world, which was used to transport logs from the Terra del Fuego mountains to the Ushuaia. From Ushuaia, you enter into the ship which sails from its port. I was traveling to Antarctica through a agency called Quark Expeditions. The biggest advantage of going to Antarctica on this cruise was that it's a carbon neutral ship. What is carbon neutral? The carbon emission from this ship is calculated and is counted by planting trees or making environment green with other means equivalent to the amount of carbon emitted from the ship. That is a carbon neutral voyage. So many people are fascinated with such concepts and travel in this tool. Definitely you can visit Antarctica on a yacht, and people used to travel to Antarctica in yachts, but for an ordinary average person it's beyond your means. So like all others, we also travel to Antarctica as a group. Are you going to stay in the shore? Definitely no and a yes. Because usually you stay in the ship and in the daytime you cruise around and come back to the ship. But if you opt to stay in the shore for a day, there are arrangements for that. But you have to think twice before you venture into such an expedition, because you stay in the Antarctica soil, or rather ice, just having a bivy bag to sleep, that's all. And there are few tents available, of course, yes, but most of the time you will be sleeping on a sleeping bag in the bare ice of Antarctica. In austral summer, there is no night at all. There is 22 hours, 20 to 22 hours sun and sunlight is there. So it is just like a day, 24 hours. Even when the sun goes down, it is not pitch darkness. It is a small hazy twilight, that's all. How many days you require to visit Antarctica? That depends on where you are going, what you are seeing, and so many other factors are considered. Usually it's around 10 days. The best cruises are built for you. So, what are the precautions taken in the ship? Because it's being a very turbulent waterways, there's a dictum saying that one hand is always for the ship. Always take care and always have one of your hands in the rails or in the support grip available in the ship. It will be funny to note that the mariners are very superstitious. So never whistle in the ship, because whistling invites winds and storms. Then all the ship cruises more than 24 hours, you need a drill, mock drill about the safety in the ship and the precautions to be followed, instructions to be fully understood and followed in case of an eventuality or an emergency. 7 short beeps means an emergency. You have to rush through the room, get your life jacket, and go to the place where the evacuation is done. Actually, it is a amazing experience to travel through the pristine wilderness, through the remotest continent, and the finest scenery you will ever see in your lifetime. On this second video, I will tell you more about the travel per se in Antarctica and the different sites you are going to see in front of your eyes. Thank you so much.